evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the combined agenda and regular meeting of the Monroe Township Council on December 1st, 2025. Would you all please rise as we honor our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Will the clerk?
Councilman Charles DePiero. Let the record show that Councilman DePiero is not present. Councilman Michael Markell.
Here.
Councilwoman Rupa P. Siegel.
Here.
Council Vice President Terrence Manzora. Council President Miriam Cohen.
Here. Would you please read the Sunshine Law into the record?
In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, it is hereby announced and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting that adequate notice has been provided by the following. 1. Posted on the bulletin board within the municipal building on December 27, 2024, and remains posted at that location for public inspection. 2. Printed in the Home News Tribune and the Cranberry Press on December 27, 2024. 3. Posted on the Monroe Township website. And 4. Sent to those individuals who have requested personal notice. In accordance with Chapter 3, Section 17 of the Monroe Township Code, public comment shall be limited to 5 minutes unless further time is granted by the Council President.
Item 5 on our agenda are proclamations and presentations for this evening. I would like to ask our mayor to please do the honors for the Volunteer Appreciation Awards.
Thank you, Madam Council President.
My pleasure.
Good evening, everyone. How's everybody? Good? We're all full from turkey? Yes? Oh, good, baby. Pumpkin pie it is. So, welcome to our Volunteer Appreciation Awards. This time of the year is a time to reflect back and look upon those township residents who have risen to the top of who they are and what they've done. We started this a few years ago, was met with great success, and I'm glad we can come together and continue. So we have 3 recipients tonight, and we come together to recognize those volunteers and supporters who make such a meaningful difference in all of our community. Our first recipients could not attend tonight, but we are especially grateful for the Parikh family for transforming unimaginable personal tragedy into a mission of hope through the Om Foundation. Om, their son's journey was marked by extraordinary courage. Diagnosed with a rare brain tumor at just 10 years old, he faced surgeries, radiation, chemotherapy, and setbacks no child should endure. Yet Om met every challenge with strength, optimism, and compassion. Even while undergoing treatment, he inspired thousands as an ambassador for the CHOP Parkway Run and Walk, reminding everyone of the importance of standing together in the fight against cancer. Although Om passed away in 2018, his spirit certainly continues to guide the work of the foundation that bears his name. The Om Foundation supports children battling cancer, promotes positivity and perseverance in schools, and contributes to research and programs that offer families comfort, hope, and critical resources. To all the volunteers who stand beside this mission, thank you. Your time, generosity, and your hearts keep Om's light shining, especially his smile, and to ensure that families facing childhood cancer never would walk alone. And once again, thank you to the Parikh family. Thank you for your strength, your vision, and your dedication to turning loss into compassion and an impact for so many others. I will be meeting with the Parikh family to specifically present them with their award. Let's hear it for the Parikh family. Our second award is for Jack Kirschenbaum. Jack was born to parents who survived the Holocaust and were liberated in the end of World War II. He came to the United States when he was 5 years old and became a citizen at the age of 10. He earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from Brooklyn College, where he majored in psychology and minored in education. Following that, he obtained a Master of Arts in Psychology from the City College and a doctorate in psychology from Fordham University. In his junior year at Brooklyn College, he enlisted in the United States Army Reserves and served for 6 years as an ER medic and then a supply clerk at the 320th Hospital and the 204th Transportation Company. He has been working continuously as a psychologist for the past 53 years. After 18 years of working as a clinician, administrator, and trainer, he decided to transition into private practice. For the past 35 years, he has been a licensed psychologist with 24 of the 35 years in Manalapan and Marlborough. In 2014, he moved with his wife to Greenbrier in Monroe, and he worked as a licensed psychologist here in our township. 10 years ago, he was invited to join the American Legion Post 522 here in Monroe, and 8 years ago, he became their commander. In this role, he led the post in our Township Veterans Day and Memorial Day ceremonies, the High School Armed Forces Appreciation Day, and the Mill Lake Elementary School Veterans Appreciation Event. Together with the American Legion members, he conducted oratorical and boys' state contests and provided awards to students at the Township High School Award Ceremony. They conducted annual poppy drives and donated the contributions to organizations and hospitals that serve needy veterans. For the past 7 years, he has also served as commander of the Monroe Jewish War Veterans Post 609. Jack, your life story is one of remarkable resilience, dedication, and service. From your family's journey of survival and renewal to your own path of military service, professional excellence, and decades of commitment to our veterans and our community, you embody the very spirit of what this volunteer award represents. Your leadership in the American Legion and Jewish War veterans, your tireless support of our students, veterans, and civic traditions, and your 53 years as a psychologist have touched countless lives here in Monroe Township and beyond. We are grateful for all that you have given, and we are so proud to honor you today. Okay, congratulations, Jack. Come on up. So this Volunteer Appreciation Award presented to Jack Kirschenbaum. In recognition of your humble service and dedication, thank you for going above and beyond, serving the citizens of the Township of Monroe. Never forget the difference you have made. We certainly won't, Jack. With heartfelt congratulations and a sincere thank you, Mayor Stephen DeLina and the Monroe Township Council, December 1st, 2025. Jack, the podium is yours.
In my Veterans Day and Memorial
mic
Day
down, Jack.
speeches and in interviews I conducted with veterans, I usually declared the following. With pride and gratitude, we salute and acknowledge the contributions of all the men and women in the armed forces for safeguarding our home, our community, our country, and our way of life. Today, I express my gratitude to Mayor Stephen DeLina, Council President Miriam Cohen, Council Vice President Terry Van Zura, and Council members Rupa Siegel, Charles DiPiero, and Mike Markel for your dedication to Monroe Township. I would be hard-pressed to find many other municipalities as committed to their constituents, especially their veterans, as Monroe Township has been and continues to be. I also want to express my gratitude to all the people who work in the township, including the police, fire, and EMT. Thanks to all of you for safeguarding our home, our community, and our way of life. I feel blessed to be living here. I would be remiss if I didn't highlight the work of the mayor's executive assistant, Eileen Bienes. As everyone knows, Eileen quietly makes everything possible here in Monroe. She is the foundation that undergirds all that happens here. She has always been genuinely and calmly available to guide and assist me in whatever activity I was involved in. Without her organizational skills and direction, things would not have run as well. I can't thank her enough for all her help. I also want to take this opportunity to pay homage to the late Mayor Gerald Tamburo. He too was instrumental and supportive of my work in the early years. When I moved here 11 years ago, I assumed that while continuing to work, I would take part in some of the classes and activities I discovered were available here in Monroe. But fate intervened. I was approached by a member of our local American Legion Post 522 and invited to join the post. My first job was as the scribe for the post. Not long after, I was asked to serve as the post commander. At the same time, I learned the existence of the Jewish War Veterans Post 609 here in Monroe, so I joined it too and was promptly asked to be its commander. It has been my honor to serve as the commander of these two posts, and in those roles to facilitate many formal military services in the township, at Mill Lake Elementary School, and at the Monroe Township High School. It also has been my honor to assist my fellow veterans. It has always been my intention that whatever I was involved in would run smoothly, benefit all involved, exhibit reverence and respect for all past and present service members, and that we would together be proud of what we accomplished. I hope I succeeded. I'm truly honored and grateful for the recognition that you have bestowed on me today. I thank you.
Thank you.
So just on a personal note, Jack had mentioned about, hoping that things run smoothly. So, as a member of the council for 10 years and, mayor now for these past 5 years. So when we have our Memorial Day event, when we have our 9/11 event, and we have our Veterans Day event, right? There's always that anticipation. Oh my gosh, we got to make sure people are there. We got to make sure we have this. We got to make sure. And yes, thank God we have Eileen as well. But Jack, me personally, I'm a calm, cool, collected guy, right? Well, wrong. I get very nervous before events, right? And when we would have these events and I would show up, it wasn't until I would see you, right? Then I know you gave me some calming, and I know that it was going to be a well-run program. And again, that is all because of you, my friend. So thank you so very much. Okie dokie, as we come to the last 2025 Volunteer Award, Appreciation Award, it's fitting that we end by honoring a group whose impact is felt throughout the entire year, the Friends of the Senior Center. There is truly no better way to close this celebration tonight by recognizing the extraordinary people who give so much of themselves for the good of Monroe Township. To all the members of this remarkable organization, thank you. Your unwavering commitment, your countless volunteer hours, your deep care for our residents make an extraordinary difference in every single day. What makes the Friends so special is that every effort you go you undertake goes right back to our community, to our senior center, to our food pantry, two lifelines for so many of our residents. Your work ensures that our seniors are supported, nourished, and engaged, and that families who need a helping hand always have someone to turn to. Year after year, you continue to raise that bar. Your annual car show has become one of Monroe's most successful and beloved events, a true community tradition. It's not just a fundraiser, it's a celebration of togetherness, teamwork, and a spirit of giving. And it succeeds because of your passion and organization. You also make our senior center feel like home. From the beautiful Thanksgiving luncheon that brings people together in gratitude, to your ongoing support for many of the programs that keep our seniors active, social, and thriving. Your impact is felt in every corner of that building. I want you to know that the township sees your work, values your work, and deeply appreciates your work. Monroe is stronger, kinder, and more connected because of you. On behalf of all of our residents, our staff, the entire council, I offer our heartfelt thank you. Your service is not only admirable, it is essential. And it reflects the very best of what this community can be. Thank you for all you do, and congratulations on a well-deserved award. I'd like to call up the group, if you want to come on up.
Big group.
Or if you want to, if you have a representative, you want to do a representative say something, and then we'll do a group photo later. Is that okay? So I'll read it. The Volunteer Appreciation Award presented to Friends of the Senior Center, obviously all of the executive officers, in recognition of 35 years of humble service and dedication. Thank you for going above and beyond, serving the citizens of the Township of Monroe with heartfelt congratulations and a sincere thank you. It's not on there, but the proud Mayor of Monroe Township, Stephen Delina, and the Township Council, December 1st, 2025. Thank you so, so very much.
I don't know if I can follow Jack's very, very
No one ever
eloquent words, but none of what we do as volunteers happens in a vacuum. I have a very large all volunteer board of trustees that carries out all of our events, and we are greatly supported by the staff of the senior center. Thank you very much for our recognition, and again, as this plaque says, we've been in operation officially for 35 years. And in 1990, when we were formed, we didn't have a motto, but now it's friends helping friends, something that we enjoy doing and work very hard at. Thank you.
Congratulations to all. We're going to take a 5-minute recess so people can take pictures. So you have your 5 minutes. We'll gavel out for 5 minutes and you can get some pictures taken. Will the clerk please read item 6?
Ordinances for second reading at the December 1st, 2025 regular meeting. Ordinance 011-2025-024. Ordinance repealing Chapter 3, Article... What is it? Where are we?
What happened over there?
What article are we?
18.
18. Article 18 of the Code of the Township of Monroe entitled Employment Policies. Ordinance 011-2025-025, bond ordinances providing for various capital improvements in and by the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $2,772,200 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,638,500 bonds or notes of the Township to finance part of the cost thereof. Ordinance 011-2025-026, bond ordinance providing for various improvements to the water sewer utility in and by the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $8,520,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $8,520,000 bonds or notes of the Township to finance the cost thereof. Ordinance 011-2025-027, an ordinance amending Chapter 108 zoning of the Code of the Township of Monroe to reduce the number of market rate units required pursuant to the Township's third round affordable housing obligation and to provide for affordable units to be applied to the Township's fourth round obligation.
Item 7 are the resolutions for consideration under the consent agenda at the December 1st regular meeting, R12 2025-234 through R12 2025-260. Any of my colleagues have any questions or concerns regarding these? They go forward. Like to open for public comment? Remember, these are limited to agenda items only, 5 minutes per speaker. May I have a motion to open the public comment period?
Motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to address the council on the agenda items only, please come forward now. Hello. Your name and address for our records, please.
Matt Sandwich, 113 Hopkins Road, Monroe. Assuming I can comment on this ordinance 25, 27.
Yes. That were read into the record. Yes.
It's weird because the title here talks about market rate units, right? It doesn't talk.
Could you use your mic, please? Sorry, thank you.
This ordinance, the title that is reducing market rate units, I think this is just about number of affordable housing versus market rate.
We can't hear you.
Is this mic on?
No, tap.
Should be.
I'll give you, wait, Mr. McGowan will give you a mic that's working.
So the title of this ordinance is talking about market rate versus affordable housing obligations. Yeah, but buried in here is rezoning a section by Mounts Mill to be a village center district zone. So I don't understand why this is not, someone mentioned this in Facebook, so that's how I became aware of this as opposed to affordable housing units, which I understand the township needs. But a village center district out by Mounts Mill is, I don't know if anybody's done traffic studies, but it's really an inappropriate place for a village center. I don't know if any of you go near Plainsboro where they built a village center off of Scudder's Mill and Chalk's Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
They have multiple lane roads there. The traffic that would come through Mounts Mill if you build a village center with shopping centers and gas stations and banks and doctors' offices there is incredible. I don't know why this is buried in here, honestly. You're going to get 18-wheelers going on Mounts Mill Road. I don't know if you're planning on widening the roads, Hoffman Station to multiple lanes or Mounts Mill to multiple lanes. But you can't sustain a village center in that part of town without massively changing the traffic flow and the number of roads and straightening some of those roads out. So I really think you need to reconsider at least that part. I'm not against the housing. I understand people need places to live that are affordable. This town has become pretty unaffordable for young families, but a village center in what used to be a very rural area part of town, I think is I think it's an inappropriate use of that space. There are other places you already have multiple lane roads, even here by Perrineville and Prospect Plains, that would be more suited to a village center.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to address the council? Seeing and hearing none, may I have a motion to close the public comment section of the agenda?
Motion.
May I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Closed. I'd like a motion to adjourn the agenda session.
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes. Meeting is adjourned. Time is that?
7 o'clock.
Motion, like a motion to call the regular meeting to order, please.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes. May I have a motion to approve the payment of claims per the run date of November 24th, 2025,
Motion.
please?
Second.
Thank you. Who made the motion?
Mike made the
Mike,
motion.
sorry. Roll call.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion to approve the minutes of the following meetings is written as presented November 5th, 2025. Agenda and regular combined meeting.
Motion.
Second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Abstain.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance for second reading, 011-2025-024. It's the ordinance repealing Chapter 3, Article 18 of the Code of the Township of Monroe entitled Employment Policies. I'd like a motion to open a public hearing, please.
So moved.
Thank you. A second on that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to address the council on ordinance 011-2025-024, please come forward now. Seeing and hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Thank you. A second.
Second.
May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance as stated and read? Motion, please.
So moved.
Thank you. A second.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance 011-2025-025 is a bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $2,772,200 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,638,500 in bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the costs thereof. I'd like a motion to open a public hearing on this, please.
Motion.
Thank you. A second on that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to address the council on this ordinance, please come forward now. Seeing and hearing none, a motion to close public hearing, please.
Motion.
Thank you. A second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance as read? Motion, please.
Motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Very good. Would you please read the next one?
Ordinance 011-2025-026, bond ordinance providing for various improvements to the water sewer utility in and by the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $8,520,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $8,520,000 bonds or notes of the township to finance the cost thereof.
Thank you. May I have a motion to open a public hearing?
Motion.
Second on that motion, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to address us on this ordinance, please come forward, stating your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Michelle Arminio, 9 Nathaniel Street. Regarding this ordinance, various improvements to the water and sewer utility for $8 million, are there one or two things you can express as to what that will be used for?
Mr. Miguel?
Sure.
Mrs.
Actually, yeah, Joe,
Yes.
if you want to highlight a few
Miss-
of these, that you might be better able to explain than I.
And while he's doing that, and the allocation of funds, have they been sort of separated, or is this just like one big pot so far? When you get to it, when he gets to it. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Strang? Yes,
Thank
please.
you, Council President. Yes, Ms. Arminio, essentially 7 million of that $8 million bond ordinance is for the design and construction of PFAS facilities at well 17 and 19. We also have another $1 million to actually do the design of relocating the water main on Spotswood Englishtown Road as a result of a county culvert reconstruction project. And as a result of some of the design hydraulics that we've done, we're improving 3 PRV, which is a pressure reducing valve station throughout the township. And that's $1 million. And then the remaining $410,000 is to buy a new front end loader, which we've had for 30 years, and a new skid steer, which is going to help us move equipment to the various.
Okay, Council President, I'm satisfied with that answer. I have a follow-up answer. A question, sorry. So 7 million, let's talk about the 7 million, that's the big number. Is soft cost design work?
No, that's.
Okay, because you did say design work, so I don't,
Design and construction.
okay.
Yes.
That's key.
Yes.
So how about, of that 700, I'm sorry, about 7 million, how much is actually construction work?
About 6.2.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the design work is not just like, because that's a lot of money for.
No, it's 10%
work.
essentially, yeah.
Okay, and since I've been coming here for so many years, before we absorbed the water and sewer into the utility authority, there was $44 million in their budget and in their fund. How much do we have now?
Mr. McGowan, do we have that answer now?
It's part and parcel of my question about having to bond nearly, $8 million worth of, do we have any fund balance, fund budget?
Mr. McGowan, would you?
We do have a utility surplus, Council President, but we
Yes.
still utilize capital financing every year for capital projects and capital items because we don't want to drain that surplus. That surplus is what helps keep our bond rating high, helps, it's what's proposed and recommended by our auditors and by the DCA to keep a healthy utility.
And what is that surplus, may I ask?
I don't have that in front of me, but it's on our website on our
And it doesn't have,
AFS.
okay.
It is on the website if you look there.
I just want to make sure you heard that. The audited.
You need to talk into the mic.
Audited financial statement is where you
Again,
can find that.
still, yeah.
And it's on the website.
But again,
that's where it would be.
we certainly don't have the 44 million anymore. I think that was depleted over time, over like 5 years or so.
I have no idea what it is.
Do we have a
but that's
roundabout
where it would
number
be.
in surplus?
During my time here, I don't believe we've had that 44 million, but I'd have to double check.
Okay. And the PFAS, and this is mostly to design to protect us from PFAS contamination in our water supply?
Correct.
Do we have a number of concentration now and what we suspect we will have after this project?
No, essentially, this is because there is PFAS in the water as a result of contamination that others have done, as we all know. But this is to meet the new federal regulations that go down to 4 parts per trillion.
4 parts per trillion?
Yes.
And could you, if I have any time left, okay, could you please, Council President, we have the public briefly educated on what PFAS is and the dangers and the way that's kept? I mean, I think
Certainly, we don't have time on our agenda tonight, but we can arrange to have information placed on our website discussing PFAS. And if people have questions, they can bring them to us. I would think that will work.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else wishing to address us on this ordinance, please come forward now. I'm going to move to motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
May I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt? The
Motion.
ordinance is read.
Second.
May I have a roll call on that, please?
Councilman Markel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel?
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora?
Yes.
Council President Cohen?
Yes.
Motion carries. Read.
011-2025-027 is an ordinance amending Chapter 108 zoning of the Code of the Township of Monroe to reduce the number of market rate units required pursuant to the township's third round affordable housing obligation and to provide for affordable units to be applied to the township's fourth round obligation. I would like a motion to open a public hearing on this ordinance, please.
Motion.
Thank you. A second on that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No opposition. Anyone wishing to address us on this ordinance, please come forward now, stating your name and address for the record.
Prakash Parab, 33 Dana Drive. I was looking at this ordinance this afternoon. It goes over 4 pages. Looks like there are changes in the zoning specification, something. Can you explain? It is a 4-page. We have to go one by one. It is not, I know that finally I saw the 17% will be for affordable housing. That's the number came up. But there are several cancellation corrections, water tower definitions and all. What's going on? Because this is more than, what is the ordinance? Briefly, what that ordinance defines, 4 pages.
Well, it's not 4 pages, it's 26 pages, so. I'm not.
I don't want, briefly summarize.
I'm happy to do that. First, this implements a memorandum of understanding that was approved by council back in, I guess, September.
Okay.
So, and it, essentially what it does is it reduces the third round housing that was approved. But so the township had a third round obligation and it approved a certain number of units. It reduces by 479 the number of market rate units that are going to be built. It provides for the construction of 65 additional affordable housing units, which would be credited against our fourth round. It provides for warehousing to be on Route 33 South with access to Route 33 South. It provides for the remainder of that warehouse site to be given to the township as a conservation easement. It has and Kevin is going to correct me with or Mark with the number. I believe it provides a 35-acre conservation buffer between 55-acre buffer between development and is it the Regency development?
Regency.
And the Regency development, so it provides a buffer. I know there was a comment earlier on about making it a village center, but there's only 5 acres
Okay.
of commercial. The rest is largely senior and market rate units, but once again reduced by 479 market rate units. And I mean, that's essentially what it is. The reason it's 26 pages long is because we try to show you what the current ordinance is and show you what we've amended out. But if you look at the September meeting and look at the memorandum of understanding, which is not 26 pages, it's probably 10 pages. It has a much clearer and more concise description of exactly what happened, more in kind of a narrative form.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Anyone else with a question for the council? Seeing and hearing none? Oh, yes, ma'am, sorry. Your name and address, please, for our records, and it's 5 minutes per speaker.
Suzanne Smith, 618 Spotswood, Englishtown Road. I'm questioning the creation of Village Overlay 3 Zone that, in this notice that I received, says that you're going to put 1,000 units in our little corner of Monroe. I don't see how that could, actually be doable.
Mark, how do you recall what the size of that is it 500 acres? Is that what it was?
So that area consists of the Stone Museum parcel, as well as the I'll call it the fourth corner on Mounts Mills and Spotswood Englishtown Road, which was the horse farm, and further back, which contains well over 100 acres. I think it's a couple hundred acres. And essentially the other three corners that exist today, where two are developed and the third one has a preliminary approval on, is part of a Village Center 1 zone.
Right.
So this is adding essentially the fourth corner, calling it a Village Center 3 zone, as well as the
I
Stone
understand that.
Museum.
And the other part about it is that we don't talk about a lot, but it's part of this was a parcel that was targeted for fourth round development. So if we hadn't entered into this agreement, we would have gotten the 479 additional units plus more units here. So we actually have saved by, and I know that there are some who have been following affordable housing for a long time who understand what that is, but these hundreds of acres would have then been subject to an application under our fourth round obligation to build more housing.
that.
So it was in all likelihood going to be housing. So what we tried to do is plan it in a way so that the commercial finds itself on the highway and the residential.
I get that,
here.
but there are no highways there. It's rural
where the
roads.
commercial
It's right on the edge of town, so it'll come in and out of Old Bridge.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. I apologize.
But 1,000 units, any way you slice it, is a lot for that little corner of Monroe. The roads can't take it. I don't know how you're going to do water and sewer again. I'm assuming that this other relocation of water main, stormwater, it says Spotswood Englishtown Road. That's that ordinance 26, but Spotswood Englishtown Road is very long. I'm curious exactly where that's going to take place. Also, the changes to VC1, you changed the minimum tract size from 50 to 45 acres. Curious as to why that particularly happened 5 acres off. Also, the convenience store and gas station allowance in section 4, permitted principal uses. Section 5 says exclude restaurants, cafes, excluding curb service and drive-through facilities for all eating and drinking establishments. And then you add it on the next page in numbers 11 and 12, that you can have a convenience store with or without a gas station, or a fast food restaurant with or without a drive-through. So that's a little confusing, and it seems to me, because I live right over there, there's really only one place to put that gas station. I mean, you're going to put it in the middle of the housing because you're putting this overlay zone, but does it make sense to put it anywhere else but where there's already site plan approval for other things?
Council President, first thing about the minimum lot size. So that I'll call it phase 2 would be the northwest corner of that intersection at Mounts Mills and Spotswood Englishtown Road. What happened after it did have the minimum lot size when it was approved, but after the right-of-way dedications to the county, as well as the township, it reduced it to that, I believe,
5
the
acres?
45 acres.
Is it 5 acres? Really?
There's a lot of frontage along Mounts Mills Road as well as Spotswood Englishtown Road. So that reduced it. So all that was essentially call it a cleanup, to bring that existing lot into conformance after the right-of-way dedications.
So I'm just confused. It seems that this is being changed so that a gas station could be put there. Is that really what's going on here? You want to put a gas station on that corner of Mounts Mills and Spotswood Englishtown Road?
Council President, it does amend the VC1 existing Village Center zone to allow for a convenience store with or without a gas station, as well as a fast food with or without a drive-through. So that is added as a permitted use.
So the contradiction in 5 and 11 and 12, okay.
I'm sorry?
There's a contradiction there in subparagraph 5, and then 11 and 12. You're saying it's not allowed, and then you're saying, oh, wait, we're going to allow it.
I'm sorry, can you refer to me to the page on the ordinance you're talking
Yeah.
about so I can see if I
18.
can try? That's okay, thank you.
Permitted principal uses in subsection 4. Then parentheses 5.
We have an answer.
Council President, so I believe 5 refers to restaurants, cafes, luncheonettes, and delicatessens.
So
Where
that's
drive-through
different to a
facilities.
fast food restaurant, with or without?
It says drive-through facilities for all eating and drinking establishments. I believe that's different than when we're saying fast food.
That's
with or without
different?
drive-through.
I don't
Apparently
really see
it
the
is.
difference.
But I'll defer to our
No, you're right.
counsel.
He's right. Ma'am, your 5 minutes is up. Please, long past.
One is general and one's more specific. They're not contradictory.
Okay.
Anyone else wishing to address us, please come forward now.
Okay, Michelle Arminio, 9 Nathaniel Street. Before I lose any time, let me say that according to this ordinance and while our attorney says there is no contradiction, I would ask this council to be cognizant once again of the people who live here and take that language out to be sure that there is no gas station in that area. So you can do that to this ordinance. I think you can amend it. I don't know how you have to, or table it until you can go through it again and protect the people in this area. And I have a couple questions. Years ago, that corner that is now built on was zoned neighborhood commercial, and it was for like a grocery store and all the things I think you're asking for it now. But the builder back then didn't want to put a neighborhood commercial there because it wasn't financially advantageous for the builder. Now you're coming back and asking for more, and now you want to put retail there. Well, now you've put all these people there, so okay, of course now it's going to benefit the developer to put this retail stuff. How about consideration for the people in Monroe who have lived here all these years? I have one question. Ordinance 26, this young lady sort of brought it to mind, so I'm asking a question because I don't know the answer. Does Ordinance 26 relate to the Mounts Mill area,
Oh, I don't.
the water and sewer?
It doesn't relate to this ordinance, but I don't know whether it relates to that area.
Does it relate to the area?
I'm gonna, Joe's
Okay.
gonna have to ask that question. I don't know. Like, it's not part of this ordinance, but Joe.
Well,
Council President.
does it affect that area?
That's right.
The relocation of the water main is essentially directly across from the Stone Museum.
Okay.
That's where the culverts are.
So that seems to me that we are paying $8 million for whatever is going to happen there to accommodate a developer.
No, you, but you added
No,
two-
sir, that is my.
But in all due
May I
respect,
speak?
but it's not fair because
No, it's
$7 million
fair. I have
is
the ability
is
under
the
Bressler
PFAS.
No, no,
versus,
please, let her just finish.
Bressler versus,
To lie?
no,
Oh,
if
okay.
you let me finish.
That, I don't know that case.
I don't know.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what the case is. You
No
cannot object to the content of what I'm saying. You might want to correct me, but you cannot object to
I
the
wasn't
content.
objecting. I was correcting you.
It's Bessler versus West Windsor Board of Education. So let me continue, please.
Okay, even though you're wrong. I'm happy to let you do it, but go ahead.
You can,
Would you please complete your question?
well, that
or your
was my
statement?
question. It seems to me, but as an observer, that we are spending $8 million again to accommodate a developer. Second, the 407, it could be my opinion. 479 market rate that you're not doing, and you're adding 65, but is the total going to be the same in the third round? Even though you're eliminating 479, are you adding that much in affordable housing? So in other words, is the total going to be the same, or are we actually
The
reducing?
total in the third round is reduced by 479 market rate units. The amount of affordable housing stays the same. So the set aside is a
So it's a so it's a net loss Oh, 479 market rate.
Market rate
Okay,
units.
good. I'm happy with that.
That is true.
And the buffer zone is going for Regency, to protect Regency, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
55 acres, I think, is what
That
Mr.
makes
McGowan
sense also. Number 3, the corner, I said that originally. And wetlands, how much wetlands on that stone museum?
No, Mr.
Council President, I don't have the exact number, but there is a wetland delineation on it, and there are wetlands on that property, as well as the 300 acres that's on the southeast corner, does contain wetlands.
Okay, and I know that there is some, and I don't know the details, but I know there was some situation where on the other side, where it's already built, some wetlands had been filled in, and there might have been an environmental payment to the state for that. I could be wrong on that one, but I understand that some wetlands were filled in when they weren't.
Council President, I'm not aware of any violation. There was NJDEP approved permits for any wetland mitigation that they might have done or filling
Okay.
of areas, but there was permits that I'm aware of. I'm not aware of any
That's
violation.
fine, but sadly, wetlands are filled in any area that is prone to
Michelle.
in Monroe.
Your 5 minutes is up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Again, please do not vote yes on that or change that language.
Council President, if I can just, clarify one thing on the water main. This water main relocation is part of, or required due to a Middlesex County project that's been under design for more than 10 years that I'm aware of. There's 4 stormwater culverts under Spotswood Englishtown Road in the area of the Stone Museum. And those culverts, again, were designed to be replaced in order to help mitigate the flooding issues in that area. They're old, antiquated culvert crossings. So that Middlesex County has had this under design for nearly 10 years. And that's where the relocation of this water main comes into play, where the water line has to be relocated in order to accommodate the new culverts. And that falls on the township as, it's our water utility.
And and also, and just once again to correct for the record, and I think it's kind of not fair to ask the question and get the answer and then come back and pretend like you didn't get the answer. The $7 million was for the PFAS treatment, nothing to do with this development. So it's what I was, and I can use the word objection because I think your citing of that case is wrong. My objection was when you said it was $8 million to help this developer. You just found out 20 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago that the $7 million was for a water treatment plant that had nothing to do with this property. And what Mr. Razimovich just said, which is true, if we never did this, if they never built on this property, if it remained a farm, we were spending that $1 million because it was as a result of a county road project, period. So that is an unfair characterization, and it's not, and we have very great discussions here, but it's unfair that's an unfair shot. So I just want to make it clear. Yeah. I think you said it was an opinion. That's different than a question.
Folks need to stop having a conversation with each other while we're in session. Anyone else wishing to comment, please come forward now. Seeing and hearing none, may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
May I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. May I have a motion to adopt 011-2025-027, please?
So moved.
May I, thank you. May I have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We move to the resolutions for consideration under the consent agenda. R12 2025-234 through R12 2025-260. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Second on that.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We'll move to the reports, please. Mr. McGowan, first on the list.
Thank you, Council President. I'll be very brief tonight. I just want to thank the council for your support of our capital bond ordinances. They're really important for various departments throughout the township, including DPW, Parks, MTUD, obviously, and many others. So thank you very much for your support in that. And then I just want to thank our DPW and MTUD and other personnel who are working out in the cold as the weather gets colder on a daily basis and getting us ready as they are today and over the weekend for what could potentially be a little bit of winter weather tomorrow, though hopefully not too much. While my kids are praying for a snow day, I think we're all, hoping that it passes us by in many ways. Nevertheless, our DPW is top notch, as well as MTUD and others in getting us prepared and ready for those emergencies. So I truly thank you, and that's my report. Thank you.
Mr. Ransmow.
Council President, I'll be brief as well. James Monroe Park concession stand and park improvement, that project continues to move along. The building is up. They're beginning work on the inside to finish that up, and hopefully in a couple months that will be complete. The other project that's ongoing, the pickleball courts and parking lot at the senior center, that again continues to progress. We do have the parking lot open temporarily as needed out there, the new expanded parking lot, and that's my report.
Thank you. Move to the council reports. I'm going to go to my right. Mr. Markel.
Briefly, I'd just like to say I was at the Thanksgiving dinner at the senior center, which was 100, and I think they served 197 people. It was great. It was wonderful to see everybody have a great time. Just to mention, also, as I always like to mention, just remember our veterans this month. It's not Veterans Day, it's not Veterans Month, but it's always Veterans Year. Remember that. So a thank you out to our veterans here in the United States. Quickly, I'm just going to mention December 3rd, we have the Christmas tree lighting. I'm going to take something away from Rupa, and on December 17th at the Senior Center, we have the menorah lighting. And that's about it. I just want to mention that. Thank you.
Councilwoman Siegel, please.
Thank you, Council President. So again, I just wanted to say congratulations to all the volunteers that were recognized this evening. It's a tremendous amount of work they do to provide what they do for our community. One thing I did want to share as liaison to the Cultural Arts Commission, this Saturday they're sponsoring a holiday concert by the New Jersey Festival Orchestra, Return of the Three Holiday Tenors. It's a free concert, first come, first serve, Saturday, December 6th at 1 p.m. at the Middle School PAC. So please come join us, bring your families. And that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Mr. Van Zura, you're looking so comfortable in your seat.
Thank you, Madam President.
Go.
I would join in, thankful to all of our volunteers and everything. There's so many people in town that do so many things, and you can't recognize everybody in one shot every year, but all of the people that were here tonight contribute their time. They don't get paid for it, and they do a lot for us. There's many others throughout the town that also do things. We just went past Thanksgiving where there was a lot of food distribution type things going on, and all these people that do so much. That's part of what makes us a great town. So thank you to everyone that does that. One thing I would like to point out, there's still a lot of street lights that are out in town. I'd like to keep the pressure on JCP&L to see if we can get those things resolved. Especially now, it gets dark so early. I like to have that little extra street light when I come home from work, and gets a little tough sometimes. One topic, something new that I wanted to talk about, might have been touched on a tiny bit, but it's about electric bikes and scooters and things like that, because just driving down the street, I notice it sometimes seems a little bit dangerous. I see a lot of young people out there, and they tend, being young as they are, tend to cut in and out a little bit more without really being as careful as maybe they should. And the reason I bring it up, I prosecute in a couple of towns, and we do have a state statute that controls a lot of it. And it's quite extensive, covers a lot of things. But there are certain things that they push back onto the towns and stuff. So I'm not going to pretend that I know what all the answers are, but I'm going to suggest maybe it might be a good idea to, have our police chief look at what some other towns have done. Some of the towns have started to enact ordinances. Like the state statute, for example, certain things you need to have helmets, you need to have, some of them, depending on how fast the electric bike goes, some have to be registered, have insurance, and you have to have a license actually to operate them, and you can't be beyond a certain age. But like a couple of weeks ago, I had a case where a kid was 14 years old, and he was charged with driving without a license, driving without insurance. I mean, that would have really messed up his driving record for a while. So sometimes an ordinance is a way of getting the point across without something harsh. And I think we need a balancing act, because people need to understand that this is something that will require safety, something that you have to act in a particular way to make sure that we don't have some type of tragedy where kids are, somebody gets killed or something because they're not paying attention. But I think one of the things that I would personally like to see is to have it advertised a little bit more, whether it be on a website or somewhere else. That, you see, what happens, people buy a bike and sometimes they don't know what they have to do. Oh, I've had this bike for a few years. Well, now they have a statute that says you have to register, you have to do these things. Well, make sure everybody knows about that, because on the one hand, the guy buys a bike and the guy that's selling the bike doesn't tell you. It's not like when you're buying a car and you can't take the car off the lot until you show proof of insurance and registration. Well, if there is something for a bike, then people need to know that that's what it is so that they know to do it. Otherwise, they're subject to a harsh penalty. On the other hand, if you're going to ride around and you're supposed to have these things and you're not doing it the right way, there has to be some recourse also to teach people the lesson that, you just have to do things in a certain particular safe way. So I'm not saying one thing versus the other. I'm saying that there has to be some balance in there, and perhaps what we could do is, whether it be through legal or through our police, discuss it, come up with some ideas maybe that we can come with what's best for Monroe, keeping in mind the interest and the safety of the children and other people that ride it, versus, what can be a harsh penalty too. So take all that into account and look at it, and it's just something to think about in the future. It doesn't have to be this day or this moment, but just something to take into account. That's what I wanted to bring up. Thank you.
Before I turn the microphone over to our mayor, which is always a pleasure to do, I wanted to make an announcement for those of you that are here. There is a program, as we've now discussed, snow, rain, sleet, hail, and may it never happen to us, called Are You Ready? Red Cross Ready. It will be at the Senior Center. It is a 1-hour presentation on Wednesday, December 3rd at 2:00. And you will get a take-home packet that includes a checklist and a summary of the preparedness measures for the following situations, including extreme heat or cold, power outage, home fire, severe thunderstorm, flooding, hurricane, and tornado. I think if it is valuable information to get, and it is, of course, free of charge. So call the Senior Center if you are planning on attending. I think everyone will find something valuable in the discussion. I'm going to ask our mayor to please grace us with a few words this evening.
Thank you, Madam Council President. As always, I'm going to cede my report to 5 second graders' reports.
Okay.
I went last month to Miss Corona's class in Barclay Brook, and their assignment was to list things in Monroe that they like. And I was lucky enough to go and give them my top 10, and then they gave the report, and I said, well, at the next council meeting I'm at, I will provide the data that they've collected and their written report. So, Mr. Jackson, everyone knows Monroe Township Rec Center is the best place in town. First, there are so many sports there. You can even play something at the rec center, like soccer,
outside at the rec center, like soccer, baseball, and softball. You can play basketball inside the rec center. The rec center has food machines and water machines, summer camp, mad scientists, Lego, robotics, and coding, all for kids. He provides the hours, and the address is 120 Monmouth Road. I know you will want to just go there and like the sports. You'll love them. Jackson. Okay? So, rec center. So, Adita, my favorite place in Monroe. You need to go to the Monroe Township Public Library. First, there are so many different books there. You can borrow games to take home and return. They have many activities like chess, club, puppet shows, and craft in a bag. There is even a guessing jar every month. The library is located at 4 Municipal Plaza and open 7 days a week. I hope you go and borrow books and explore the Monroe Township Library. Thank you, Adita. Kalina, you must go to the Stop and Shop in Monroe. I should have asked if maybe she had a relative who works there and was getting a cut of the action, but first, there are so many things you can buy. You can also shop online. You can get fresh bread and fruit. You can also get Starbucks. You can, a little young for coffee, but you can do daily deals. There are weekly fresh picks. There are weekly specials too. There are millions of products to shop. It is open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. It is located at 16 Prineville Road. You will have a great time meeting awesome cashiers. Have fun shopping. Emma says you should visit Barkley Brook. There is so much more than learning. First, during the year, we have special events. The specials that you do there are gym, art, library, music. At lunch, you can buy lunch every day with your lunch card. You can have recess every day. Sometimes you have recess outside or inside. There is a nurse and a principal. Our principal is Miss Moheni. And there is a security guard at the front desk, Mr. Taylor. Everyone knows Barkley Brook is the best school in Monroe. And I will have to admit, with my top 10, I had to, I was a sellout. I said my most favorite place is Barkley Brook School. So just wanted to get that on the record. And finally, Mr. Noah, his favorite place in Monroe. Everyone knows Monroe Township McDonald's is the best place in town. First, did you know at McDonald's you can order at breakfast and lunch and dinner? Did you know some McDonald's have a play zone? You can get French fries, burgers. I'm sorry. It actually says boogers. But I'm taking,
Spelling
burgers,
is an optional sport.
chicken nuggets. You can also play games. It does say boogers. For kids, you can get a Happy Meal. It is not that expensive. It is located at 1 Gateway Boulevard in New Jersey. It is open every day and closes at 11 p.m. I hope he's not there at 11. I hope you get some good food. Remember, get a Happy Meal for your kids and enjoy your meal. My friends, second grade, Barkley Brook School. Very nice. And I do want to thank Miss Corona for what she does every year. She has me come in, and I think it's just a great exercise for the kids to look at their surroundings. And I let them ask me questions, and like, well, what's your favorite color, and do you have a pet and stuff, and I always say, well, I have a question to you. If you were mayor, what would you do? And my friends, there are some really, really beautiful young children in our town when they start talking about helping the poor,
planting trees for the environment. So there's hope in the world, and it starts at Barclay Brook School with Miss Corona. So thank you, Madam Council President.
Thank you, sir. Going to move to the public comment section of our agenda. May I have a motion to open public comments, please?
So moved.
Thank you. A second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're welcome to come to the microphone. Your name and address for our records. Your comments are limited to 5 minutes, please. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not have a dueling contest. We will just go.
Paul Peliquin, 241A, Mayflower Way, Rossmore, 08831. The council, it's a mistake not to have passed the resolution in support of the Immigrant Trust Act. Immigrants are scapegoated and taking attention. As a result of Trump's use of scapegoats, we have armed, masked thugs, actually, in democratic cities. We have a tax cut that the next decade will have cut $500 billion from Medicare and $930 billion from Medicaid, not to count food stamp cuts. And we've honored and mentioned the veterans here today. VA cuts to the Veterans Administration. If we don't fight as strong as possible to push back against and protect the immigrants and demand that we stop talking about immigrants, we protect them, and get our health care back. They took $1 trillion from our health care, from American citizens. And if we don't fight, we will, why don't the billionaires have to pay the same tax? That $1 billion was transferred to the upper 1%. Over the decade, the billionaires will get $1 trillion in taxes. We ought to be demanding that they pay the same taxes that a teacher pays, that a cab driver pays, that the postal worker pays. And we got to fight back, because they're not just coming for immigrants. They're coming for our living standards and our democracy.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Next person, please.
Prakash Parab, 33 Dana Drive. We are coming to the end of the year. It is, holidays are starting. And I want to appreciate what is going on in our town. I see a lot of medical facilities coming up. It has become, we used to drive to Princeton for some of the treatments. Now they are available here. So that's a great news. A lot of sports facilities are going on, and you guys, council member, mayor and all, listen to people and listen, we come and talk and you all follow up and do the best. Try to get grants and all. And so I want to talk about positive, what is going on this year in our township. And we have vibrant recreation center, vibrant library, vibrant senior center, lot of prayers, all temples are coming up. And it is faith for different faiths. So it is one of the, town is looking good and we are improving every year, trying to best, do best. So, always we comment, but we have to talk about what I see as positivity. Although what is going on in Washington, we're trying to keep our town as good as possible. And 2026 elections will be there. And we have to make sure that democracy persists in the United States. I've come as an immigrant and I have been in this country for 40 years. And I have seen a lot of changes in the last 10 years. And we will fight it out in a good way. And also I look at the statistics, the crime rate is going down. It is from 2023, 2024, 2025, trend is there. So good, thank you for the council, mayor, our police department, EMS, and many of the volunteers. So thank you. Thank you very much. Have a happy holidays.
Thank you for your comments. Your name and address for our record, please.
Catherine Hunt, 121P Lowell Lane. I wanted to ask that the council will put the Immigrant Trust Act resolution on the agenda and vote for it. This is S3672A4987. Our legislators in LD14 support the act, and they're actually on the bill as far as they are co-sponsors. And when I talk to legislators, not just ours, but ones in other districts, I ask them, well, why is it that the bill all year has made no advance at all? It hasn't gone through either committee, hasn't had a hearing, and it can't be heard on the floor. There can be no hearing on the floor, and there can be no vote on the floor until it goes through its committee hearings. And here we are in the lame duck, and still nothing is happening on the bill. Why is that? Since so many people, so many legislators are in favor. Well, they always say it's leadership. Well, who actually is that? Well, they finally come down to naming who those leaderships are, and it comes down to two people. And they're sometimes giving the excuse, well, we just don't know if people support this bill. And that's why we come around and ask that you please pass a resolution in favor to show that our town is in favor of the Immigrant Trust Act, to support our own legislators and, of course, the other legislators who support this bill. The Immigrant Trust Act will expand critical protections. Immigration questions will only come up if necessary for determining eligibility for public service, for a public service, and law enforcement will not voluntarily share information with ICE. The act will advance accountability. Law enforcement agencies must receive training and annually report on immigration enforcement requests and compliance. And the act will set model policies that keep information safe at places like healthcare facilities, schools, public libraries, shelters, and more. The Immigrant Trust Act is important to our communities, and ask that you will put it on your next agenda and also vote in favor of a resolution in favor of the Immigrant Trust Act. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to address us this evening, please come forward. Please state your name and address for the record.
Max Saywitz, 113 Hoffman Road, Monroe Township. I was not going to talk about this, except Councilperson Vice President Van Zura brought up the e-bike issue. I was an avid cyclist when I was much younger, and I recently purchased a Class 1 e-bike. And I've noticed that towns all over the state are starting to implement various laws town by town. We need to be, first of all, when people talk about e-bikes, it's important that we discuss the different classes. And a Class 1 is a pedal assist generally. I have to be pedaling. It doesn't go faster than 20 miles an hour. And let me tell you, in my youth, I could ride 20 miles an hour on a flat without a pedal assist. I can't do that anymore. E-bikes have made it possible for me to cycle. But the biggest problem with town-by-town rules is that as you're riding a long-distance ride, you don't know when you're on your bike what town you've crossed into. And there are towns now implementing that you can't ride an e-bike on roads that are more than 25 miles an hour, and they're not being careful about what the class is. Education is the key here, as you said. There are ways to reach young people, to make it clear to parents that if they're buying a class 3 e-bike, which can go 28 miles an hour or faster without pedaling, that is basically a moped. Setting up ordinances town by town makes it impossible for avid cyclists to deal with it because you don't know when you've crossed in. The better thing to do is when we're repaving roads, build bike lanes. Put up signs that say you must pass with 4 feet of clearance. Enforce the traffic laws in this town. I don't know, you guys live here too. People are not following traffic laws. They're not stopping at stop signs. They're running red lights. That's the risk to the cyclist. When cyclists get into accidents with cars, it's the cyclist that suffers, and causing more laws, creating more laws for cyclists is not going to protect the cyclist. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address us, please come forward now. Seeing and hearing none, I'm going to entertain a motion to close the public comment section, please.
Motion.
May I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? May I have a motion to adjourn our meeting?
Motion.
May I have a second on that?
Second.
The time is?
We are adjourned. It is 7:56 p.m.